I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here at the Hub Pavilion in Davos, delighted to be joined by Joerres. He's the chairman and CEO of Manpower. So we've got to start out with the employment figures coming out of the US. Tell me where you think we are in terms of the recovery, what you're seeing on the ground, any kind of stories that Manpower has.
Well, you know, it's so confusing right now, and anytime you're in a recovery, these little facts that can jump out and possibly be distractors in there. And what we're looking at right now is that we clearly are not seeing companies have an appetite to hire a lot. Having said that, there are some elements of this recovery, because we are clearly in a recovery, that are classical. So if you look at the November BLS numbers that came out and the December BLS numbers, both of those had some interesting Bureau of Labor statistics that really said, here's unemployment. So one was the good news, of course, November, which was this little 4,000 jobs that improved. There was something underneath there that said temporary help had 52,000 jobs increase. We're a leading indicator. Companies come to our kinds of companies to say, I have demand, but I don't want to fill it yet because I don't know how stable the economy is. So there is a little momentum. But companies are rightfully going to be cautious because there's a lot of noise in the system right now.
And is there any particular industry that's surprising you, that's coming through asking for more jobs, more people?
Well, I wanted to find that because it would have been really interesting that says, you know, this recovery is really different because look, this sector over here is doing something. So of course we did the analysis, and 38% of all the jobs that were in that number came from logistics, manufacturing, light manufacturing. Classic. It's the same thing as before. Professional services, what's happening in our engineering practice and IT practice, it's lagged a little. And I think you could look at it as part of what you see in the productivity numbers. You see these huge productivity numbers. What that basically is revenue divided by people. And companies in the office environment and the professional environment are saying, you're going to have to do more with less. So keep working hard. In the logistics area, it's such a science that if so many packages are coming through UPS or FedEx or Amazon, you need a certain amount of people. So it's across the board, but it's a classical start, kind of in that light manufacturing assembly logistics area.
You also sit on the Federal Reserve Board. Is there anything you can tell me from a more macro perspective, other parts of the economy that you're seeing, you know, sections of recovery or not, anything lagging behind?
Well, I think, you know, the Federal Reserve Board has been very transparent in talking about where they're looking at it, and the vote that came out said, you know what, they don't see inflation really as an issue yet. There was one vote that saw it a little differently. So I think the Federal Reserve Board is looking at all inputs, and they highlighted a major input, which is the labor market's still not back. And I think it's fair to say, whether it be in the US or across the world, with the exception of the emerging markets, really being Asia ex-Japan, labor's not back yet. And labor's not back yet for a simple reason. The consumer isn't in. They're not in the game yet. They're still holding their chips off to the side.
Yeah, exactly. So Manpower is about to launch this new website called My Path. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, My Path is really about how do you work your way through these careers. People are looking at career changes or getting back into the workforce. And we did a lot of research and found out that many people really didn't feel as though there was a trusted site to say, what am I good at? Almost a site that has safety in it, that it's about me, it's not about somebody watching me. And that's why we came up with My Path. So it has several different parts to it, actually.
And you've got Tammy Erickson, one of the bloggers. And tell me who she is and what this is about.
Tammy is one of the foremost and is a very esteemed publisher about what is this next generation. How do you find jobs? What are careers? So she has put a lot of time into this site and is an advisor to us on this. So she can really give some unique perspectives on what companies are looking for and what you might be able to do in order to be more attractive to those companies.
Jeff, thanks very much for coming along to the Hub Pavilion, and it's really delightful to talk to you. I really appreciate it. And I'm Edie Lush here in Davos.